In the world of American muscle cars, SUVs, and pickups, the HEMI is an icon. A big, loud, 8-cylinder engine found in many of the vehicles collectively known by the MOPAR or Chrysler names.
Hey, that thing got a HEMI? Yeah. Sweet.
Even if you don't know what a HEMI is, you know the term. Oh, it's got a HEMI.
It's associated with the muscle car era of the 60s. Obviously, there were a lot of very iconic, very powerful, very fast, very fun muscle cars.
The HEMI was especially important to Stellantis' profitable pickup brand, Ram. But in an effort to get greener, Ram's then newly formed parent dropped it in favor of a high-powered, twin-turbo inline 6. The engine is arguably superior. That didn't matter. Since its launch, Ram sales declined every quarter from Q1 2024 through the same quarter of 2025.
When they feel betrayed by their brand, that brand then has to really earn that buyer back, and that can be very tough.
Now, the Stellantis CEO that made that change, Carlos Tavares, is gone. Tim Kuniskis, a longtime company veteran, is back in charge at Ram. Reviving the HEMI engine has been one of his first moves.
And the first day we opened up for HEMI orders, we took 12,000 orders.
CNBC dove in to find out why this engine is such a big deal, what this saga says about the bigger problems at Stellantis, and why big gas-burning engines still have a place in an electrifying market. Up until 2019, Ram was a growing threat to rivals in the ever-important and highly profitable North American pickup truck market. After Chrysler was brought out of bankruptcy through its merger with Italian carmaker Fiat, Ram, like its Chrysler Corporation stablemates, experienced something of a renaissance.
Ram trucks, we eclipsed the volume of Chevy Silverado and got close to F-150.
It has won Motor Trend Truck of the Year 7 times since becoming a standalone brand. It also took home the prestigious North American Truck of the Year award twice, last in 2019. It ranked high on various J.D. Power lists, such as initial quality and driver appeal. 2019 was the year Ram's parent, Fiat Chrysler, merged with another European automaker, Group PSA. This is where many say Ram and the other Chrysler MOPAR brands hit choppy waters. Ram trucks never totally lost their critical appeal. The light-duty 1500, which makes up about half of Ram's U.S. pickup truck volume, won 3 of its total Motor Trend awards since 2019, including for the 2025 model year. It has also won a top award in Texas 7 years in a row. Texas is about 20% of the total U.S. truck market.
The Ram 1500 is a truly outstanding truck. It has absolutely the best ride quality of any full-size pickup. Also, the interior, in my view, probably the best in the segment. Ram pickups really feel expensive. They feel like quality pieces.
But over the last several years, it has lost market share to rivals. Other Detroit brands have lost sales since 2016. But after hitting a peak in 2019, Ram finished 2024 100,000 units below where it was 8 years earlier. Meanwhile, GM's premium GMC Sierra had grown by about the same number in the same time frame. Stellantis had a slew of problems, including stale product, high prices, and a lineup dealers and industry analysts said didn't fit what customers wanted. It finished 2024 with a 70% drop in profits. Its troubles trickled down to all of the American brands. CEO Carlos Tavares also pushed hard to cut costs and green the fleet. More EVs, lower emissions. But fans and insiders say some of these measures were too swift, too severe, and ignorant of the U.S. market.
In America, we want cars that, that make us replace the tires every year. We think about burnouts. The wrong people were trying to guide American enthusiasts in a direction they did not want to go and still don't want to go.
Among those moves, Stellantis briefly disbanded the American Street and Racing Technology Division, better known as SRT. It's the Chrysler MOPAR version of the performance shops many automakers have. A Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, or Dodge vehicle with an SRT badge on it is a high-performance one. Stellantis also spiked the V8 engine across most of its lineup, except for a handful of models. Ram's sister brand Dodge had found a fair bit of success reviving its muscle car heritage through its Challenger and Charger, especially with eye-popping versions like the Hellcat, Hellcat Red Eye, and the Demon. It even started calling itself the Brotherhood of Muscle. Under Tavares, the Charger and Challenger were combined into a single model. But more importantly for fans, all those over-the-top V8-powered versions were gone and replaced with a new Charger that came with two powertrains, one fully electric and one with an inline-6 engine called the Hurricane.
There were practically pitchforks at Stellantis headquarters when that happened.
Carlos did something that wasn't appreciated. You know, they lost a lot of fan base because they went to electric.
I've driven the Hurricane. It's a very nice engine. It's very refined. It's very smooth, which on paper, it's better in every way. It's better in many ways.
Yes, on paper. The standard engine has more horsepower and more torque than the HEMI, and the high output 6 blows the V8 out of the water.
It is a fantastic offering, but there are some people that they count cylinders. They want the HEMI, they want the V8, they want the sound of that naturally aspirated V8.
They want the rumble, they want the drama. Americans associate truck performance with V8 engines. The Ram customer in particular really loves the idea of having that big American V8 under the hood. You take away what made them love the brand and love the trucks to begin with, they were going to revolt.
I grew up a tuner. Inline 6 Toyota Supras are awesome. But when you start trying to stuff, a inline 6 twin turbo into a very heavy vehicle, you're not going to get the same performance as a very torquey V8.
When the 25 model debuted in Q1 of 2024, sales dropped off a cliff.
Here's what that looked like. These choices really cost the brand customers, which in the truck segment you cannot afford to risk. Here's how Canisius put it. There are about 3.6 million people driving a Ram with a HEMI engine in it. About 6 to 8% of them buy a new truck every single year.
And of that 6 to 8%, 40% of them said, I won't shop you if you don't offer that engine. They didn't say, I won't buy because I need that engine, but they said, I won't shop you unless you have the opportunity for me to look at your current offering and what I drive today so I can compare and contrast. That's about 30,000 units a year automatically that I would have lost. And with loyalty running in 75, 80% of the truck segment, you don't want to lose any of those customers.
Canisius expects about 40% of Ram buyers sooner or later to settle on the HEMI. That's a lot higher than the Ford F-150's V8 take rate of about 25%, but slightly lower than GM's, which Canisius attributes to the fact that, apart from a diesel, GM offers a choice of 2 V8s or a 4-cylinder. Ford F-150 buyers can swap in a V8 for free on most versions of the truck. Ram buyers have to pay an extra $1,200 unless they get the high-end Limited or Longhorn trims. Canisius thinks a lot of people will choose the HEMI anyway.
HEMI is not really just a V8. It's kind of a brand in and of itself. It's become a thing.
And Ram isn't giving up on the Hurricane. The reality is, as attached as some buyers are to V8s, customers are choosing smaller engines. Toyota has already dropped its V8 from the Tundra lineup with less pushback.
You're gonna want to see what the new engine is compared to what you're used to. So you're gonna want to drive them both. It's all about the choice. It's not about one versus the other. It's about having the choice.
It's also not giving up on electric. Ram is planning 2 new EV trucks. One fully electric and another with a gas-burning generator. Canisius was also CEO of Dodge when that brand unveiled the electric Dodge Charger.
Kind of typecast with, I'm the HEMI guy, I'm the supercharger guy, I'm the Hellcat guy, all that kind of stuff. And it's weird to hear you talk about electric vehicles. A lot of times people that bash electric vehicles have never driven one. Electric cars, they have their faults. There's no question they have their faults, but they are fantastic.
Electrification will ultimately take over, but for the time being, while gasoline engines are available, gasoline engine enthusiasts want the ultimate expressions of those gasoline engines, and a big V8 engine is certainly one of those things.
They can have electric vehicles. I won't buy one. I'm an ex-Tesla employee. I've never owned an electric car. But if Dodge really wants to sell vehicles, they have to sell customizable cars that scream drive me.
We are in the very early days.
500-mile range, lighter solid-state batteries, inductive charging, sufficient infrastructure, and prices that are comparable to gas engines, Kuniskis is confident all these will happen.
When you get there, you will get mass adoption. The problem is, we tried to force mass adoption before we got there. The car displaced the horse because it was better. The electric car is going to be better. We just have a lot of challenges in the industry that we have to overcome first, and we will overcome them. We have to, because as an industry, we've invested about $500 billion in this.